everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm Caitlin Black, and today we're going to talk about inner child work. So why I think inner child work is super important is because as adults, we know adulting is hard. And there's always this inevitable list of things that keeps on building with each other, and we have to stick to it. We have to get X, Y, and Z done, and then we can finally relax. Or then we'll eventually get to do this thing. And the thing is that list is always going to be there. Things are always going to get added to it, no matter how much you feel you get taken off. And I already made a video on my thoughts about productivity, and I'm going to go ahead and leave a card, so you can that link will go ahead and take you to that video. So why we need to focus or look back at inner child work, even with everything that's going on. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stress, and you just need to remember that it's okay to relax, and it's okay to laugh, it's okay to have fun. We need fun. And like I said, everyone's like, yeah, but fun, you can only be something you enjoy, because otherwise, like, everything's going to be in the back of my head, and I have this huge long list of stuff that I need to get done, and like it's ever growing. And it's like, guys, forget the list. Forget the list. It's always going to be there. And if to think about time, bish, you can make time. Make time for yourself. You owe it to yourself to have fun. You do. Honest. So, going into that, inner child work is important, I think, on not just a mental level, but also on an emotional level. And again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, this is just what I'm coming from my own personal perspective. So, when working with the inner child, children's brains aren't developed like adult brains. And the prefrontal cortex that's responsible for reasoning and logic and forward thinking, such as consequences, that's not developed in kids. A lot of their decisions are based off of emotion, off of impulses, and without the forethought of cause and effect, which is great. I mean, it's also why, we need to watch kids like a hawk, but it allows them to be free. Like, they're not constrained to all of these thoughts of, well, what is, if I do this, this is going to happen. Or if I were to go ahead and do this, I need to think of the consequences of this, and then there's all kinds of planning, and then sometimes you tend to overthink and you drive yourself fucking crazy. But that's why inner child work is important, because you don't think. You just go ahead and you act and you do. So that being said, you are still, even though working with the inner child work, you tap into that energy of being a child, and sometimes you can even start to think like a child. You still physically, you are still an adult. So don't be running around your house with scissors or spending your life savings on stuffed animals, okay? Okay. Another thing why inner child work is important is looking from the perspective from kids. Everything is magic. They're not really concerned with the science of the how or the why stuff works, and they will ask you. Like, I'm sure everybody out there has hung out with that kid that does not know how to be quiet and keeps asking, well, why? What is this? What is that? Why is this like this? Why is that like that? And, it keeps going and going and going and going. And if you actually ask them generally, like, okay, so why do you think this is like this? And they'll tend to come up with their own definitions. And sometimes it's just like downright adorable just to listen to what their thought process is about how something is what it is, or why something acts the way that it does. And there really is something magical to be said about that, because kids are just so creative and they absorb information like a sponge. Like, it starts off with the five senses, and generally, like, one of the first things, like, definite, like, small wee ones will do is put everything in their mouth. Like, try and take in all the information that way. And their eyes don't develop until later, and eventually it gets to the point where they start learning through mimicry, and then it just continues to build on from there as their brain develops. And because of kids looking at everything with like a sense of wonder, and everything is like this magic, everything is magical, their view of the world is totally different than ours as adults. They are way more open. They don't have a definite self-defense mechanism yet. And just for the record, inner child look is really good for, you know, those psychic blocks. Like opening yourself up. It helps. It does. Kids, they're not scared of failure. Like, they just go out and they do the thing. Like, like I said, they don't think about consequences, so they just go out and do the thing. And if they happen to, like, fall off the monkey bars, failure doesn't necessarily first thing that pops into their kids. They get excited, they see something, they want to do it, and they do. And kids also speak their minds. Like, they don't understand social cues and different social structures like adults. We grew up learning that from our parents and from watching other people. And when you're little and all you want to do is run around and play, or you see something that you feel is different or that kids want to point out, they will point it out. And they will be brutally honest if you ask them a question. And kids are just true to themselves. And that's something that us adults, I feel, forget about, and that's something we need to remember, is to be open and be ourselves. Like, seriously. With that out of the way, here are some suggestions on how to approach inner child work. One of them is to go outside. Like, yes, quarantine is still in effect, so please be mindful of that. That being said, though, like, fresh air is amazing, and sunshine is good for you. Except if you're a vampire, or some other form of undead, or a ginger. But anyway, outside is good for you. It does the soul good. Get some sidewalk chalk and draw on the sidewalk. Play hopscotch or other games of that form. Go out and make mud pies, or try and form little mud castles out in the backyard. Roll around in the grass. Just remember to watch out for poop. Or don't. I guess, you know, forethought. Turn on the sprinklers and go ahead and run through the water. Or go and jump in some mud puddles. Water is very cleansing, and it's really, really, really fun to see how big of a splash that you can get. Just get dirty. Like, you can always do laundry later. Make all the things. Kids are super creative, and the sky's the limit. So, coloring, macaroni sculptures, paper airplanes, play with Play-Doh, get some clay, pillow forts. Go ahead and make a giant pillow fort, or a small one, and dedicate that as your sacred space for a little bit, and just sit in there and chill. Like, it's pretty magical. Food. Make different foods and treats from when you were a kid, and kind of reminisce. Go in the gram s'more bars. Oh. Another thing you can do is play pretend. Like, spin around in a circle and pretend that you're flying. Just, you know, be careful of your surroundings. Play the floor is lava. Everyone's played that as a kid. Go ahead and play dress up. I am Princess Kitty, and I am princess of all things cute and scale babies. Or run around the house in your underwear. Or have a tea party. Like, when it comes to playing pretend, anything... Oh, got some more on me. When playing pretend, anything goes. And with that, it's not like us witchy types talk about visualization, which usually happens when you play pretend, and we don't use that at all in our practice. Just like, no. Nope. Totally not. Another thing you can do is throw a temper tantrum. But again, kind of being mindful with that. So jump up and down on your bed and yell and scream. Lay on the floor or lay in your bed and just kick your arms and bash your fists. Like, scream into a pillow. Like, wail and scream. Like, nobody can hear you. Just get the emotion out. You'll feel better. And above all, guys, laugh. Laughter. Like, force it at first if you can't bring yourself to laugh, and you will start to laugh. Like, naturally, it will just come to you. And laughter is great medicine, and it's amazing fuel. Like, you guys, Monsters Inc., like, come on, towards the end, where they start using laughter instead of screams, and how much energy efficient that was, like, that's a legit thing. Like, there's so much energy in laughter. Not only that, but laughter clears the space, and plus, guys, farts are funny. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been really fun to make, and I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did too. Sorry for the lighting. Like, it's really, really hard to, like, adjust that with the windows and everything, and I could only do this really when it was daytime. So, that being said, guys, just remember to put some play back in your day, like, for your own sanity and mental health. Like, it's good for you. It does the soul good, and it will recharge you and re-energize you, and you will look back and you will see things from a different perspective too. I'm pretty sure you will. I know I have, and I've really been trying to incorporate inner child work, especially lately, and it's been doing me some damn good. So, that being said, guys, may your inner light shine forever bright, and I will see you later. Hey, babe, I got something for you.